back to my channel. My name's Rachel and this is Stitched Up. So I hope you all really well. I have been not well, not well at all. I still sound quite nasally. I don't know if you're picking that up, but yes, I have been super poorly since my last vlog. So it's been a good, probably almost coming up to 2 weeks, I think, since I was last with you. So apologies for that if you've missed me. I'm sure you haven't, because there's been loads of other wonderful sewing content out there for you to enjoy. But yeah, I thought I would come back today and try and do a little sort of cozy, chatty catch up with you, because I haven't been sewing at all, because yeah, I've been really poorly. I think I mentioned in my last vlog, which I think was the review of the Deer and Doe Mistral dress, that I was starting to feel a little bit unwell, that I'd got a bit of a sore throat. And then, yeah, I was floored. I've been floored again. It's really frustrating, because back in September when we went to Portugal, and we came back from Portugal, and about a week later I got really poorly and was off work sick for a week because I had just this horrendous virus and could hardly move off the sofa. And I went back to work, been back at work 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that, and then started with this. And this is just not like me. I don't get ill like this. You know, we all get colds every so often and things, but generally I'm quite fit and healthy. And so to have this kind of thing happen twice in the space of 5 weeks has been really challenging and difficult to deal with. So I think the first time around, I think I had COVID, to be honest, but this time it's just been sore throat, congested, chesty cough, productive, and a bit of shortness of breath as well. And I haven't been able to take any time off work. So I think when we last spoke, I was just about to go to Whitby for the goth weekend, and to be honest with you, on the Thursday, because all this kicked off really on the Monday last week, and then on the Thursday I was in work Monday, Tuesday, and felt quite rough, but then I was off from Wednesday. I was supposed to be going up to Newcastle to the lovely Tamlin's fundraiser that she was doing through SewToon for her lovely friend Bea, who has breast cancer. And yeah, that was all planned for. We were going to go up in Bertha, our van, on the Tuesday evening, stay over in the van, and then I was going to go to SewToon for that lovely fundraiser. And then I was just too poorly. There was absolutely no way I could do it. So that was a shame. And then, so on the Wednesday, I ended up spending the entire day on the sofa. And then Thursday, we were planning to go to Whitby for the goth weekend, and we'd had that booked for a long time, Thursday to Monday, and I was really not well. And Martin was like, are you sure you want to go? And I said, well, I might as well be unwell there as just being stuck at home, because it's all paid for and everything. So we were staying in a cottage, and it was beautiful. Well, I'm saying it's a cottage, it was an apartment. It was one of these, you know, these big sort of 3-story houses that's been converted into apartments, and we had the ground floor one, and it was really lovely, beautifully modernized. And so anyway, we decided to go, and I did enjoy the weekend, but struggled a lot, to be honest, because yeah, I was just really poorly. So that was put a bit of a downer on things, but it was nice. We had lovely weather, fortunately, for this time of year, and I still enjoyed getting away. So yeah, anyway, over the weekend I did start improving. I just was really congested still, but in myself I felt okay. And then the beginning of this week I started to feel unwell again. I was back at work on Wednesday, so I'd had like a good week off, and I thought, this is, you know, this week off will mean by the time I go back to work I'll feel great. And I just didn't at all. It's just taking forever to go, this blasted thing, whatever it is. But I am starting to pick up now, I have to say, and I'm feeling a little less snotty and still a little bit short of breath when I'm exerting myself. But I've not been able to go to the gym. I haven't been able to run. I've been doing nothing for 2 weeks. No energy to sew. It's just been awful. Anyway, I'm sure you're sick of hearing about my ailments, but yeah, I am feeling better now. I'm just still a bit, as I say, a bit nasally and a bit congested still, but it's slowly getting better. I think probably why it's taken so long is because I'd been so poorly with COVID, I think, and I'd probably not fully recovered from that before I was hit with this. But anyway, I am on the mend, which is good news, because next weekend I'm going to the lakes with Rowan and Tamlin. We're going to the Lake District. We did this last year. We booked a lovely cottage. It was sort of a celebration of Tamlin's 40th last year, but we enjoyed it so much we said we'd book the same again. So we've booked weekend in the lakes with a hot tub. We're going to be doing some sewing, a little sewing weekend of our own, and I'm really looking forward to it. I am now. I know that I'm getting better, because I think earlier this week I was still sort of thinking, what if I'm not better next week? And I don't want to miss out on that, because, you know, that'll be the third thing that I'll have missed out on this last couple of months due to illness. So fingers crossed, I will continue to improve. Today is the first day that I felt like vlogging. For those of you that are members of my membership of my YouTube channel and or a Patreon, I'm sure you're not both, but if you're a Patreon as well, I am super sorry. I know that some of you are probably still waiting for the sew along. It was all filmed last month, but because I've been floored by this illness this last couple of weeks, I'd planned to get that up before we went to Whitby, and I was just too poorly to get it done. So I'm so sorry. It just still needs editing. So I'm going to hopefully get that done, or at least make a start on that later today and get that up in the next couple of days. But I thought I would come on and just have a chat to you and catch up and see how everybody is. I haven't even watched many vlogs, if I'm honest, because I've not been up to it at all. And this week, because I've been back at work, it's been a struggle going back to work on Wednesday, I'll be honest. And when I've come home from work, I have literally just laid on the sofa because it's taken up all my energy to stay in work. I couldn't really ring in sick again when I'd been off sick only a few weeks ago. So yeah, that's been really hard. And I've ended up having just some early nights this last few days. So I'm glad it's the weekend and I've been able to come to you now and sit and have a chat. So anyway, I'll tell you what I'm wearing. I am wearing my NH Patterns heather sweater, which is hacked because I changed it to a raglan and I love it. And I made this last month, I think, in this beautiful Mind the Maker, I think it is, jacquard jersey. It's gorgeous. So I had a remnant of this that I put up on my Destash page and nobody's bought it, and I'm really surprised, but it's fine. There's probably not a lot of it left, which is probably why. Actually, I think there was somebody that did comment and wanted me to just check the measurements and everything, and I said I'd get back to her. And if you're watching my channel, I am so sorry, again, illness, but I will get back to you on that. But yes, I did destash some fabrics, and I have had a couple of things coming to my sewing room over the last couple of weeks as well, which has been lovely. I haven't really been buying at all, if I'm honest, and I've wanted to get on with some sewing. There's a couple of things cut out. So you might remember I mentioned last time I was going to make a start on the Sister Mag Patterns trench coat. I have got it all cut out. I managed to get that done before I even went away to Whitby, to be honest, but I haven't been able to start sewing that yet. So you might remember it is, let me show you a picture of it, it's this one here. So it's this gorgeous short cropped jacket. You probably can see it that I've had to stick the page back together because when I was using my rotary cutter and cutting through the fabric, I sliced through this, it was underneath. So yes, I had it all cut out now and it's ready to start sewing. And I think what I'm probably going to do, because it's quite an involved make and I do need some lining fabric, I'm thinking maybe something out of my stash, because the jacket itself isn't lined, I don't think. Is it not lined? I can't quite remember, to be honest, but I don't think the jacket's lined itself. No, it's got bias around the inside seams, I think. But the storm flap on the back, I think that's what you call it, it doesn't mention anything about lining, and I don't want it hemmed, if that makes sense. I think I'll want that lined. So I was thinking of just getting some lining fabric, you know, like a satin or whatever, just something inexpensive. But then I thought I might just look to see if I've got something in my stash, maybe a viscose that might work with the fabric. So the fabric I'm using, if you remember, is my Fabric Godmother Dream wardrobe. This gorgeous sort of waterproof twill. It's beautiful. I think it's an ex-Barber fabric, I'm not sure, but I got it in this pistachio. It came in a few different colours. It's beautiful. So yeah, this is the sleeve piece. And I mentioned that I had to get a little bit of hardware to go with this, which I bought these two sliders. So they're the right size sliders. I think they're just like a gunmetal, I think. And then I needed some buttons as well. So you need 4 buttons for this. I think there are, well, no, actually you need 3, but I've lengthened it. So I'm using 4. And I had a hunt in my stash because I didn't really want to buy any new buttons. And I got these, which I think are going to work really well. These are metal buttons. So if you can see there, can you see they're like a brass sort of bronze colour? And they are metal. And I got these. There's like a few of them there. I can't show you this without, because they're just going to fall out of my hand out there. Let's face it. There you go. That's probably the best view you're going to get. These were actually from a charity shop. So I think a few years ago, what I ended up doing, and I always think it's a good tip, you know, if you go into charity shops, because some buttons can be really expensive, let's face it, and you see something that's really inexpensive, but it's not a garment that you'd want, but sometimes I look at things just for the buttons, and if they've got interesting buttons on, I might buy the item and just take the buttons off and keep the buttons. And so that's always a good tip to look for if you want to find interesting buttons at a inexpensive price. So yeah, so I got those buttons out my stash. As I say, I think they were on a jacket or something that was in, like, you know, on one of the discount rails in the charity shop for like £1 or something, and I got a load of those buttons. I liked the buttons. I thought the buttons were really nice, and I thought I'll just stash them, and at some point in the future I might use them. So I found those, and I thought they're going to work really well for a coat, so I'm going to use those, and I think that will be pretty awesome. So I think I am going to, I don't know if I'm going to start on it this week, because what I was thinking, I mean, me and the girls have been chatting about what we're going to sew next weekend, and we do have some plans for that I won't talk about today, but I might actually take the jacket with me as well, so that I can maybe start on that while I'm there, because I'm quite a quick sewist, whatever, stitcher, and I think that might be a good idea, where I've got more time to sort of think and concentrate. I don't know, it depends how I feel during the week. I might start on it during the week, I don't know, we'll see. So that's obviously still to start. And then the other thing that I have had cut out for ages as well now is the Marisa pants, the denim lounge pants, these ones in this lovely denim that I've had in my stash for ages. I think I talked about that last month as well. I haven't started on those yet, so they're cut out, ready to go as well. But as I say, I haven't really had any inclination or whatever to start sewing this week, so, and the few days before we went away. So that's that, really. I've got nothing new to show you, because my Mistral dress was the last thing that I sewed, but I do have a few other things to share with you. So the Fabric Obsession, the gorgeous Bex and Adele, they launched the kits. They do their fabric fix kits where they put dressmaking kits together, and Tilly and the Buttons released the Noah pattern, which is that lovely, what's the word, oh, honestly I can't get my words out. Why don't I just show you the pattern? This one, pinafore, yes, so it's the Noah pinafore, and they put some kits together, and I bought one. So when I saw not Adele's, Bex's pinafore, I loved it, absolutely loved it. So I bought the same one that she's got, and I think I'm going to just blindly copy her, to be honest. So I've got my fabric fix kit here. So I got the pattern, I got a zip. In fact, what the girls did, I don't know if I've even mentioned this in one of my last vlogs, so if you've already seen this and I've talked about it before, I do apologise, but you're going to hear it again. So bless them, they sent me 2 zips, and you are only supposed to get one, but they know that I'm really tall and they have to lengthen everything. So I think, I don't know whether it was Adele or Bex that answered me, because they answered me in the Instagram page DM thing through there, so I don't know which girl it was, but one of the lovely ladies said we've included a longer zipper because we know that you have to lengthen things. So I thought that was really, really thoughtful, so that was wonderful. And then yeah, what else did I get? We get interfacing. I've just rubbed my camera because I'm not sure if I've been a bit blurred, so if I have, I'm super sorry. I'm not refilming this, so Anyway, let's carry on. So what else have we got? We have a lovely little label, which is this gorgeous little star. And then I also got fabric to make the pinafore, which is this beautiful needle cord here. So this is the ribbons needle cord that Bex used for hers. A couple of D-rings in black and thread, Gutterman thread, and then finally a gorgeous little gift, which is this beautiful candle. So it's from the Victorian Candle Company and it says sweater weather on it. So my sense of smell is not very good at the minute, but it does smell really nice, really autumnal, so that's going to be lovely. So I am really excited to make a start on that at some point, but I haven't obviously yet. And there's also in the lid, there is a little QR code there as well, because the girls tend to do a sew along. I think it's usually, as far as I'm aware, and I may have this wrong, so apologies Adele if I get this wrong, but I think it's normally Bex does the sew along, or that's what I've found so far. So I think Bex has done the sew along for this. So you've got that as well, which is just amazing. So I am looking forward to making the Noah. I want to have a go at it. Now, when it came out, I did my usual thing where I thought, nah, it's not for me. And then you see a few people's, don't you? And you think, oh, actually, that's quite nice. So the girls were laughing their heads off at me when I told them I'd bought the kit. So anyway, I am looking forward to making that at some point. So what else have I got to show you? Lovely Sam, who is So Let's Sparkle with Sam. I'm sure most of you already watch her. And if you don't, you really should, because she's just the most lovely lady. I've met her a couple of times now and she's just so gorgeous, such a gorgeous friend. Very grateful that she is my friend. And Sam got in touch with me. She has just started dabbling her toes into making sewing labels, which is just amazing, because I think it's great that people in the community are looking into little business ideas and things, and it's always lovely, isn't it, to support our fellow sewists. So Sam messaged me earlier in the week, or was it last weekend, while I was away in Whitby, and she said she's just started her own labels and she'd love to send me some to have a look at. And they arrived the other day and I was just so touched, because it cheered me up no end with feeling so rubbish. So I got this gorgeous little card with the lovely rocket on, because Sam loves everything space themed, doesn't she? And she said, hi Rachel, I'm so excited to share my woven label collection with you. I'm just dipping my toe in and would love some feedback. Sent with Sparkle, Sam, which was just lovely. So Sam has got 6 labels in the collection. I think they are £6.50. I will leave a link to them down below, and you get 1 of each in the pack. Is it 6? Yes, 6. So we get this one, which is Sam's little tagline that she says at the end of every vlog, don't forget to sparkle. We've also got this one from me with Sparkle. We have this one, made to sparkle. We have this one, sewn with Sparkle. So Let's Sparkle. And finally, oh, hang on, just dropped that. Finally, we have Sparkle added. I mean, they're just lovely. And these are, yeah, proper woven labels. So they're embroidered, if that makes sense. So they're not like printed, which is just lovely. So thank you so much, Sam. I am really looking forward to adding those to my homemade garments, and I will think of you every time I look at it. So thank you so much. That was really lovely. And then last weekend it was my birthday. So while we were away on Sunday the 2nd, it was my 53rd birthday, and yeah, I was poorly, but you know, we've talked about that, so we'll not linger on that. And I only got, did I get a couple of things? Oh, I did get a couple of things for my birthday that are sewing related. One of them from my lovely Northern Soul Sisters was a voucher for the Fabric Obsession. So that is exciting, which means I can buy more sewing goodies as soon as I see something. And then the other thing that I got was actually from my daughter, which is the balloon sleeve dress by the assembly line, which is this. And I have been after this pattern for a while, ever since I saw the lovely Lucy, who is the Sewing Gardener on Instagram. She doesn't have a YouTube channel. She made this for her holiday a couple of months back in one of the Fabric Godmother broderie on glaze fabrics, the black one. And oh my word, when I saw her in that dress, my jaw dropped. I thought, what is that pattern? Because she looked incredible in it, absolutely incredible. And I loved it so much that I thought, that is got to come on, that I've got to get this pattern. But I knew my birthday was coming up, and I knew my daughter would always do like she always does and say, what would you want for your birthday, Mum? So I told her to get me this. The only thing I'm a little bit sort of, I just feel for my daughter, because she bought, this is, the assembly line are actually Swedish, I think, and she, instead of buying it, because she asked me if I wanted the PDF or the paper pattern, and I said I would prefer the paper pattern, but instead of buying it from somewhere in the UK, she bought it from the assembly line in Sweden. And so she ended up paying an extra £10 postage, which, bless her, I wish she'd have just come to me and said, is there anywhere else in the UK I can get this? And I would have been able to signpost her. But, you know, it is what it is. I didn't want her wasting money, which is a shame. But anyway, I've got this lovely pattern, and yeah, it's gorgeous. It looks so simple on here, but I am going to put a picture in of Lucy's version because it's just beautiful. So I'm really happy that I got that. So that was lovely. And I did get another pattern as well. When I got my fabric fix kit, I ordered a pattern from the girls at the Fabric Obsession. I ordered this, which is the Balka dress by Wardrobe by Me. So I know some of you will probably look at this and think, oh, Rachel, there's hundreds of those kinds of dresses about. But I just really liked this because I love the sort of bib detail of the front. I mean, it's another boho dress with big balloon sleeves, and it also comes in a top version as well. But I just really liked it. So I thought, well, I'm going to get that as well and make that at some point. So they are the two patterns that I bought, which, yeah, I'm really, well, one of them I've bought and one of them I got for my birthday, which is really lovely. From my husband. My husband's not bought me anything for my birthday. He, bless him, he had saved up. He says he's saved up all year and saved up quite a big sum of money so that when we went to Whitby and the Goth weekend, and there's loads of like alternative markets and things, he said that I could choose something, whatever I wanted. And you know what? There was nothing. I don't know whether it was because with being unwell, I wasn't in the right frame of mind to shop or whatever, but I'd ended up getting nothing. So I've still got all that money, which is eating a hole in my pocket, let me say, because there's a few lovely bits out there that I've seen fabric wise that I'd like, but I'm holding off for the time being. I haven't shown you my earrings. So this is the other thing that I got for my birthday. So the lovely Leslie, who she makes doorstops, and I think those of you that have been following me for a while might have seen the one she made me for my birthday a couple of years ago, which is a goth doorstop. It's amazing. I will take a photo of it and insert it here, but she sews them herself. She makes them herself. She's so incredibly talented, and we share the same birthday, and every year she always sends me something. And this year she sent me these gorgeous earrings. I don't know if she's made them herself or whether she's got them from independent little small business, but they're just lovely, really, really lovely. So I'm wearing those today. Now I'm feeling a little bit better as well. And yes, they are really lovely. So if you're watching, Leslie, thank you again. I have thanked her personally for these, but yeah, thank you again, because they are so my style and I really, really, really like them. So what I have been doing this week, well, before I talk about this, I do have some rather big news, but I'm sort of limited with what I can tell you about it at the minute. So the big news is, okay, I'm going to be losing my sewing room. Okay, so this space here is going to significantly change over the next few months, and the reason for that, without being too cryptic, we've got a few things going on family wise, which means I need this space for something else. I don't want to go into any other detail about that, if that's okay right now, and I appreciate that's cryptic and I'm probably dangling a carrot and leaving you on a bit of a limb there, but there are reasons for this. It's hopefully just a temporary thing, but yeah, it means I need this space. So I've got a big job ahead, and I'm going to have to downsize and probably store a lot of things. So what is going to be happening is that I am going to be moving my sewing cabinet and sewing machine back into my conservatory, where it started many moons ago now. And yes, I'm going to be sewing in there again, and there is going to be very limited space in there as to what I can actually put in there sewing related wise. So obviously I'm going to have my sewing machine, my overlocker, my threads, some fabrics but not all, and a few other bits and pieces, but a lot of what I've got in here is probably going to have to go into storage for a little while. So I'm going to be filming in there as well, because I'm not going to be able to use this space for some time. So there is a lot going on, and I know that I've planned to move out of here next year anyway to redecorate. So it's probably a blessing in disguise, I guess. But I won't be redecorating at the moment because it's going to take a lot of work to sort this space out and look at what needs to be stored away. I think some of it is probably going to have to go in the, I'm pointing out there, the garden. In my sewing shed, my summer house in the garden, I'm probably going to have to store a lot of things in there, which is an unfortunate thing because I wanted to be able to use that space, but it is what it is. And so, yes, I'm going to be slowly starting on packing things away and putting things in there, and then getting myself moved into the conservatory. So I will be filming my channel from there from the beginning of next year, I think. So I know we're in November now, and at this stage I'm not sure how much or if I'm going to get much of that done before Christmas. I'm sort of toying with thinking, shall I wait till after Christmas and get Christmas out of the way with first, because our dining table is in the conservatory at the moment, and that is going to have to be sold, I think, and us get a smaller one. So yeah, I know this is all very cryptic, and I'm really sorry. I just can't sort of divulge any more than that, and I hope you understand at the moment, but that's where we are. So big changes, and not really what I anticipated just yet, but it is what it is. So yeah, it's probably, I mean, for this room, it's probably going to be a good thing because it is so cluttered and untidy, and it will give me a really good opportunity to properly sort through everything, because, you know, we all spend time, don't we, tidying things up every now and again and having a little bit of a cull and a clear out, but then I think this is going to be brutal this time. It's really going to have to be sorted out properly. So I think that it's probably going to be a good opportunity to do that, but not what I was anticipating at this period of time. But anyway, that's that news. And I do have some other exciting news, which is, I'm just looking for it because I put it down somewhere and I can't think where it is right now. Ah, here we are. It's hiding underneath my trench coat. I was contacted by the lovely Amanda, who owns Patterns and Plains. Some of you might have heard of them. They are a really lovely sewing business where she sells sewing fabrics, haberdashery, dressmaking fabrics, and a lot of the things she sells you don't really see anywhere else. So I've bought from Amanda before in the past, and she has beautiful fabrics. So Amanda got in touch with me just over a week ago, I think it was, and she asked me if I'd be interested in being a brand ambassador for her. And I thought, well, actually, yes, I am, because I have had fabrics from her before and never been disappointed. So yeah, I jumped at the chance, if I'm honest. So we have decided on a project already, which is really exciting, and I have received my first fabric today to make my first project with for my ambassadorship for them, which is just really exciting. So I'm going to show you what I've got. So this is one of her brand new fabrics. So this is called Kearney, and it is really unusual actually, because it is a bamboo cotton, bamboo and cotton woven fabric, which means that it's got the sort of softness and the drape, but it's not as sort of structured as normal cotton. So it feels almost like a viscose, but it's got a little bit more weight and a little bit more structure to it than just a simple viscose, if that makes sense, but not as much as what a cotton poplin would. So it's just gorgeous, and she's got this in 2 or 3 different colorways. which doesn't have a lot of meterage, I don't think. So this is the one that I chose, the blue and green, because I just think it's gorgeous. So yeah, it's such a beautiful, beautiful fabric. So this has been gifted to me for my first project, and I am going to make a pair of PJs, and the pattern that I'm going to make is I think it's the Shorty PJs by Sister Mag Patterns. I'll insert a picture of it here. And yeah, I really like this pattern. So I bought the trench coat. I think the pattern itself is £11 or €11, but when I bought the trench coat pattern, a week later they just sent me it as a freebie by email, which was really nice of them. So I've got that free, and I thought, well, I've got it free, I'm gonna make it. So I really like the sort of shawl collar detail and the fact that it's short sleeved, because in winter for me, I find full length pajamas sometimes can just feel a little bit too much and a bit restrictive, whereas shorty PJs are great for putting on after a bath, and then I'll usually, if I'm a bit cool, I'll just put my dressing gown over the top. So I think this is going to look beautiful in that. And I'm a bit worried about pattern matching, because tartan is really hard to pattern match, isn't it? But I'm going to do my best, and that is on my plans for this month, to be honest. So I'm going to get that pre-washed, and then hopefully I can get that cut out rather soon. I will say, with the Sister Mag patterns, the images that they've taken of the pattern of the finished PJs are a little bit, I'm going to be honest here. I mean, guys, come on, why is the shawl, why didn't they check that it was all sitting nicely before they took the photos of it? And you know, because one side of it, as you can see in the image I'll put in, is folded up, and yeah, I don't understand why they didn't retake those photos, but anyway, it's fine. I'm sure it's going to be lovely. So I think that is about it. I think I've been going for what, 30 minutes now, just over, and my throat's getting dry. I hope you've enjoyed today's vlog. Thank you for spending this time with me, and do chat to me in the comments below, because I always love to hear what you're up to and what you are sewing. And I will hopefully see you again really soon. I am taking part in a gift to November, which is being run by Alison from Sew Like Dotty. So my vlog is due out on the 17th. I haven't even given any thought to that yet, to be honest, as in what I'm planning to do. I do have a few sort of things that I want to make for particularly my granddaughter for Christmas, but I want to have a little think about that. So yeah, I need to spend some time thinking about that. And then Vlogmas is upon us, isn't it? I think in a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, it is going to be Vlogmas again. And I know a few people already have been asking me if I'm going to be doing Vlogmas, and I am planning to. I'm hoping that I can do every day, but I'm not committing myself to that, because just busyness and time and everything else. And I think, yeah, it's a lot. It is a lot. So I am planning to hopefully do it every day. If not, it might be that 2 or 3 days are sort of all bunched together and you get a vlog after a couple of days, but we'll see how we get on. I'm going to be flexible with it, and I'm not putting myself under any pressure. Anyway, take care of yourselves, and I'll be back with you really soon. Bye.